testing to see how long it takes for the audio to the camera. There we go. About 5 seconds. Okay. Okay, so we're going on well, I've got the day to myself. My good lady is off down to the cottage Ely. I've got an appointment with friends tonight for some beers, so looking forward to that. And yeah, had a quick look at Kalimoto for some inspiration this morning. And yeah, I'm going to head up from where we are here in Tayport up towards Aberdeenshire. So we're going to head up to over, actually, if you've listened to my ramblings from the beginning, then you'll know that my first ride in December last year, after I passed my test, was up to Aberdeen on a very adventurous route, and yeah, a bit more than I could chew at that stage. So pretty much going to repeat that, but rather than coming down the A90 in the dark, we are going to go up to Spittal Glenshee, around Ballater, Aboyne, Bankery, and then back over the Cairn Mount Road down Fetter Cairn and come out at Edsall and then cross over the A90 and head back via Arbroath, well, Brechin, Arbroath, and back to the Tay Road Bridge. So it says about 4.5 hours. My bike has literally just the other day had its 12,000 mile service, so I need to go and put some fuel in it. But yes, I'm going to use the lav mic for this trip, so hopefully the recording, I actually got back from doing a little recording test the other night, as I had to drain the fuel tank, which I didn't do very successfully. But yeah, just testing out the DJI 2 remote mic versus the lav mic, and actually really surprised how good the lav mic was when I listened to it properly. So I'm not sure what happened the first time round. Anyway, we will see how we get on with it today. It is tucked behind my cheek pad and just sticking out. Can't remember which side, but anyway. It's a lovely day here. It is showing at 15 degrees already. Forecast to be great all day. So yeah, it should be a good 4.5 hour run. Hopefully get something to eat, as there was 0 in the house. It's now 9:40. I think it's actually 10:40. It is. So yeah, I imagine by the time I get up to Aberdeen, I'm going to be pretty hungry. Anyway. So this is us just leaving Dundee. We're going to head from the back of Dundee across to Blairgowrie, and then from Blairgowrie up to Bridge of Cally, the Bridge of Cally up to Glenshee, the Spittal of Glenshee, and then do an obligatory picture stop up there, and yeah, head back down into Braemar, Ballater. Yeah, cracking day for it, and actually really noticing the difference in my bike. Maybe it's yeah, maybe it's all in my head, but definitely feels like it's pulling a lot smoother. I'll put in a quick clip that I got back from the mechanic of the air filter. I don't think the air filter has ever been changed since the bike came into existence. It was, he said, the worst he'd ever seen. So hopefully she's breathing with a bit more ease. Yeah, cracking day for it though. I'm sure there will be a lot of other bikers out on the road today. This is us just leaving Blairgowrie. Nice collection of bikes. And a three-wheeler. What a day! So leaving Blairgowrie now, heading up to Spittal of Glenshee. here we are in Braemar. Now, if you have some money which you need to get rid of very quickly, then I can recommend a hotel. It is very close to here. The Fife Arms. There we go. Oh no, that's a Fife Arms Land Rover. Well, the Fife Arms is around here, and that is where you can spend a lot of money a night. So if you've not looked up the Fife Arms, it's probably top of my list of hotels I'd really like to ideally spend a couple of days at. Just utter relaxation, amazing food, very nice drinks, and just get these ladies here. Yeah, that would be very desirable, but it is not cheap, shall we say. And this is a beautiful part of the world as well. The Queen's old residence, not far from here. I say the Queen's old residence, obviously I mean the late Her Majesty, who is no longer with us. Used to holiday. I don't remember what it was called. It wasn't called Braemar Castle. Braemar, anyway, her residence. I think the royal family are there as we speak, actually, as I am led to believe. We can now get a tour, which I believe sold out incredibly quickly this year. So yeah, it'd be interesting to have a look around. In fact, there she is, I think. It may be, I'm pretty sure it is. Driven these roads and cars so many times. I don't think I've ever seen that view though, so. But I believe that is the official residence of the King. God, I could honestly turn around and go do that road again. It is brilliant. However, we're going to cruise through a bit of Aberdeenshire, and we're going to go back over the Cairn Road. And don't ask me what that's called. I think it's B592. I could have just made that up. Well, that was lazy. Hey, you're in 6th again. So yeah, we're going to go back over the Cairn Road to Fetter Cairn, which we used to do every Sunday, well not every Sunday, a couple of Sundays a month when my grandfather was alive. Go up to see him in Torfin's, and then later, I think it was a Boyne or Bankery, and cook him Sunday lunch. So we used to go up from Perth, up that road. So just arrived at Crathy Church, which is the local church for the royal family when they're up here. What can I say? Stunning day, great riding. I'm going to cross over onto the south Deeside road and head towards the Cairn Road. So yeah, what a day to be on my bike. Yeah, if ever you needed to know, their HRH was in town. A lot of police, a lot of people waiting, which would suggest something is happening. I think that was maybe one of them just passing. Yes, lots of police presence, so that could have been one of them in that discovery with blacked out windows. Probably unlikely, but there you go. So this is the South Deeside Road. A lot of people out walking. Try not to mow them down. Beautiful Deeside River. Pretty spectacular if you like a bit of fishing and can afford it. Oh, these roads just keep giving. Incredible, look at that. That, if I'm not mistaken, is where we're headed for. Up there. In a roundabout kind of way, I think. So many memories of this road. Incredible. But here we are, coming up to a fairly iconic bit. I've got an incredible picture of my Lotus, my first Lotus, just taken up there. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Whew. Just had a little stop at the top, a few pictures. In a day like this, but the winter months we used to come up here in the car, God, it was bleak. What? That is not what I wanted. Hey, very wide. Some ride. I have a massive big dead something across my visor. Whew. It's quite hot at 15. So yeah, brilliant day out. Genuinely really lovely day out. Not too much traffic. South Deeside Road's beautiful, and again not a lot of traffic there either. So yeah, I highly recommend that route. I will probably take a screenshot and post it on the video. But till next time, I'll speak soon.